I've been saying your name wrong this whole time.
It's Simóne.
Simóne.
Yeah, everyone thinks it's like Simone or Simone or
Yes.
I've gotten Simon. Yeah.
Simon.
Yeah.
Travel, food.
Yeah.
All of that is something that is not my ballpark.
Yeah, it's a mixed bag.
Yeah, it's what do you like? It's lifestyle. It's lifestyle content.
Yeah, it's like, well, we tend to think more travel now, and then with some lifestyle obviously incorporated, because I think it's a lifestyle essentially, but it's more travel and it's authentic, and it's, you know, making people excited or inspired to visit a place or capture a place in a similar type of way.
I mean, we've seen your content for what, like the last I think six years, right?
Yeah, it is about 6 years, but it's been such a journey in the 6 years. I feel like it's really started to grow in the last, say, 4 years.
Yeah.
The first 2 years was just us figuring shit out, not knowing a thing. But it was also a very important part of the journey, because without that, we wouldn't be where we are now.
I mean, it's also part of that is also a romance
Sure.
that happened.
Wow.
It's not that kind of show. You started your content journey before the explosion.
Yeah.
And when I say the explosion, I mean like 2019, 2021, 2020, right? Was the drive always, okay, cool, we are together, we have this dream of traveling, and was it always, okay, cool, we are going to document it, we are going to turn this into something that we can make a living off? Was that from the get-go, was that one of the things that you had a conversation about, or was it just happened?
Not at all. I mean, can I take it? It wasn't like that at all.
Yeah.
We went vegan one day, and it changed. You know, it's weird. It's like, okay, you eat a certain way. Eating is like a really important part of any person's life. And we changed the whole thing. Okay, we're going to stop eating any animal products.
Yeah.
We don't know we haven't a freaking clue what to do. Yeah. But hey, let's show people how good you can eat, how nice the food is, and, you know, kind of influence people without posting slaughtering videos of animals online.
Yeah.
That was, I think, the main focus. It's like, let's inspire people to eat more plant-based food. And we would literally just take photos of our meals on our phone, not having a clue what we were doing. And just saying, hey, this is what we made tonight. We made this pasta. Here's the recipe. Enjoy it. That is literally how it started. And we had no intention or knowledge that it could grow into something else. Like, it was... We were clueless in that regard,
But I mean, veganism is a small movement globally still.
Yeah.
If you look at the numbers, South Africa even more so. So for us, it was quite like, I think in the first year already, we've established ourselves as one of the main vegan pages in South Africa.
Yeah.
And then in the first 2 years, I really feel like we started getting recognition, and that's when we started realizing, oh, we could actually make this a side hustle. It could be something more. So something that started out totally just as a hobby, as time progressed, sort of developed into side hustle, and now we both do this full time and traveling the world. It's been such a insane trajectory over the last 4 years.
It's wild because you said, oh yeah, we are in Cape Town.
Yeah.
Because you are off everywhere.
Yeah, this year is crazy.
So often. I mean, just this year, where have you been?
Okay, so in South Africa, we've gone to quite a few places, especially in the Western Cape. But we've done Indonesia. So we went to a few islands in Indonesia. We literally just got back from a trip in Turkey, a 3-week trip. And then we're heading off again to 3 different countries for the remainder of the year. So it is crazy. Indonesia was amazing. Absolutely loved it. Turkey was also mind-blowing. Exceeded all expectations. You kind of have this picture of a place in your mind, and you get to like, okay, this is different, but it's good, you know, and you just embrace that and embrace the moment you're in. But yeah, also a lot of local travels.
Yeah. Dude, it's been interesting. I mean, for us, we love talking about how we got started in the industry, but also tell people that are considering it that it is a legitimate way to make a living.
Yeah.
A lot of people still feel like we're just having fun, we're just playing around, and it's not the case. It's literally something that you can make it a living, and we weren't aware the first few years.
Yeah.
And I think that's what's interesting. Our background is just your normal, traditional sort of route that most people take. But I think we're like a real life example of how we totally flipped the table and our lives legit changed completely in the last 4 years. It's unreal.
What is the moment where you realize, okay, cool, we can do this for fun? You know, it's because there's so many elements to it. Because not only is it's, I mean, I always say I can't assume, but you're traveling with the person that's closest to you, the person that shares your heart, right? You share a life together at this point. Your thoughts are probably you synced brainwaves. You know, you've taken the journey of, because it's. I would imagine that the journey of veganism did not start with both of you at the same time.
That's what a lot of people think.
Is it? Okay, so you both came together with.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's that?
Christmas 2017. So normally my parents would do a whole spread of meats and everything. And we watched a video online, just one of those moments in your life. They're just so pivotal and just like brain shattered moments. And then we just said like, this probably will be the last time that we eat meat on Christmas Day. And we had a New Year's braai for 2018. And that was like our first vegan braai.
Yeah.
Felt like such an idiot coming with my mealies to a meat dominant braai. But yeah, man, that's where it started. We both went vegan together, and all the decisions and everything that we've done is mutual. It's what's so nice about our relationship is it's not a push and pull.
Yeah.
It's sort of, we both on the same page. We have these ambitions, and we keep sort of moving together and growing as individuals.
And in fact, I'm actually the one that was more hesitant towards going vegan because I didn't eat any vegetables. Like I was living a junk food life. It was.
You know they're good for you, right?
Tell her.
But you know, my mom always said that green food is for rabbits.
Yeah.
Like so, when you're a child, that gets kind of ingrained in you. And all the foods that are good and delicious, I was always thinking, ew, that's for rabbits. Like I don't eat that. I've never tasted it. I've never tried it, but I'm not going to because it's gross. And then I met Vernon, and he, one of our first dates, he invited me over, and he made like chicken, and then this, you know, the broccoli and cauliflower white sauce from Woolies. He made that, and I thought, fuck. What am I going to do right now? I'm just going to Simóne, just swallow it. I need to make a good impression. And I think veganism is where it started, just totally changed our lives. So.
I mean, because it's a big jump, right? It is a big jump because at some point in my life, I was on a vegetarian path, right? So I was still doing the ovo-lacto, all of that stuff. Yeah. And not once did it cross my mind to go, okay, cool, we're cutting out any kind of animal product because, in fact, it's difficult.
It is.
Very.
We felt it. It felt like a huge decision. Yeah. Now we talk about it and just laugh about it. But back then it was like, shit, we need to reconsider our whole life because we used to get takeaways. We can't do that anymore because places aren't that vegan friendly.
Especially
and when we go to a grocery store, you navigate the aisles completely different and you avoid the meat section. But yeah, man, I mean, like we started sharing stuff on Instagram because it felt like such a huge decision, and that's where we wanted to share with people like, look what we're doing, like and we're trying to influence people, and it led to so much more, which I think is amazing.
So how did we get from okay, cool, we're sharing a journey in veganism now, and we want to speak about it, we want to not necessarily be activists or advocates, just showing this is a possibility, right? So how did we get from that to the you know, that light bulb moment of okay, cool, shit, we can make a living out of this, we can make a living out of the travels that we have? Was there a specific moment, or was it like an extended conversation that, I mean, which is fair, like you have to have, because you're a couple, you're sharing a life together.
Absolutely.
Was it a one moment where, okay, cool, babe, I think this is the thing?
One moment for me comes to mind. We were in Knysna, and at that point in time, we were just on holiday. We started taking our content more seriously and putting some more thought into how we curate things and putting more effort into it. And we got an email from an agency telling us about this Woolworths gig. And it was for vegan cheeses. So we felt it was so aligned with what we do. And on top of it, we are going to get paid. Yeah. At that moment, it was like this amazing sort of, like, again, light bulb moment. Look, if we can do this once. And that's when we purchased a camera. And since then, I mean, we started obviously reaching out. Okay, if we can do this once, surely there's other brands, other people that will also pay us. And that first year, and that was 2021.
Yeah.
That was the first year that we really started like just hustling. We were still working in corporate, but our weekends were just dedicated to content, and basically all our free time was dedicated to building our page.
Yeah.
And I mean, we tasted it. We tasted that you can actually get paid for the content, and it was like, I know it sounds shallow, but it was a big motivator for me because I didn't particularly enjoy my day job.
Yeah.
And if I started realizing that I could potentially do this full time, and that was my motivation, like to get out of corporate and do it full time. So
dude, a 9 to 5 is, who wants that now?
It is rough.
I could never go back. I remember when I resigned.
Yeah.
It was the best moment of my life. And, you have like, I was in hectic corporate. Like I was in one of the top 5 law firms in South Africa.
Okay.
And I was with HR on a call, and they're like, okay, but would you ever consider coming back? And, working with this specific manager. I was like, I would rather go homeless. Like I would rather go home. And she was just speechless. She didn't know what to say. But I think that was the moment for us when we decided we're leaving corporate. There's no turning back. Like I will not like lower myself like that to do that. And we just did anything we could to make sure it's going to be a success. And I think that's one of the big secrets.
I think people underestimate the power of having fun.
Yeah.
Doing what you are getting, or rather doing what you're making a living out of. Right? Like I was setting up these lights and all of that. And sometimes, it can be tedious, but in the end, I'm going to look at this video later and say, this
is what you do for a living.
Yeah.
We need to pinch ourselves often, because some of the times things start getting a routine and you start getting used to it. And then you don't really practice gratitude anymore. You don't show appreciation. But a lot of days when we have a tough shoot, we still remind ourselves that even if it's a tough day, it's still an amazing career. And the fact that we're able to do this full time is, dude, it's amazing. Like, honestly,
is it bizarre?
I never thought.
Yeah.
I never thought it would be possible. I came completely from a play it safe sort of background, upbringing, and do like the traditional thing.
Yeah.
And that's what I did. And I was unhappy, deeply unhappy. And I became like older, and I thought to myself, is this all that there is to life? Surely. I used to have big dreams when I was younger. I used to be in touch with my inner child, and I used to be joyful. And dude, corporate took that out of me completely. Yeah, and this is my path back to being a child again, being joyful, having fun with life.
It's so funny. We have a neighbor, so we live in this estate, but it's mostly retired people, which is amazing for us.
Love that for you. It's quiet.
And Shem, he's so sweet. He's always, checking in with us and seeing how we're doing. And when I told him, okay, Vernon's left and now I'm also leaving, it's time. It's like, are you sure? Like, is everything going to be okay? Are you sure you don't want to think about it? And he was so concerned. And then, we would do these collabs. And then one day he thought, okay, we did a collab with Ford.
Okay.
And, we live in Wellington. So it's like, it's the Bucky Brigade. Like,
if
you don't have a Bucky,
you
don't fit in. So we feel like Schitt's Creek there sometimes. But so we get a Ford Ranger.
Yes.
And we bring this Bucky home because that's when he was convinced everything is going.
Oh no, you
for
made
us.
it now.
I mean, we had it for like a week, but dude, people were impressed by us that week. They're like, shit, look at these people.
No, they've made it now for that week.
Yeah.
Exactly.
But I mean, a lot of people doubted it.
Yeah.
And I think we just, like I said earlier, just want to be examples of you could actually do this full time. You can make a sustainable career out of it.
Yeah. I mean, I want to go to making the decision, or I decide and we're going to walk this path. Number one, you've already hit your family with the veganism. And then you say, hi, mom, dad, cousins, uncles, aunts. Not only have I decided we're not doing Christmas lunches the way we did before, but now we're going full time, quitting a job that I'm paying tax for. Putting that money into a retirement annuity, all of the things that your parents want you to do.
Yes.
How did that go?
It was gradual though, because the first year we were still working both in corporate and we started making money from it. So, but at least it wasn't like a total so my parents knew that we were doing something on the side. It's starting to earn income, and they could also see that it's starting to gain some traction. And obviously when we speak to them on the phone, we would tell them not about our corporate jobs, so we'd be more excited about what's happening on the side. So I think when the day came, my mom felt pretty like confident that it'll work. I don't think she had any doubts. Maybe she didn't tell me, but I'm sure she had like, this is a risky decision. But I mean, I think she supported the decision for sure.
Yeah, no, my brother, I've got an older brother.
Yeah.
And he's also very traditional sense and all of that. So I thought, oof, I'm going to tell him. He's probably going to tell me. And he said, I'm so happy for you. Yes, amazing. Do it. Go for it. Like, and we're like, okay, wow. Yeah. So that's when I felt, okay, wow, I'm doing a good thing. I'm making a good decision here. Because literally when I resigned, because Bennett resigned first, about 6-7 months before I did. And it was also just, we were driving home from work together and he told me about his boss and what a terrible person he was that day. And I was like, you're going to resign, like you're going to resign. I just got so angry. And I said, you're going to give them the least notice possible just to be spiteful. To be petty. And so we just pushed. And it's like, I'll keep working. We'll see how it goes. And then it got to a point where also it's kind of like the universe traps you. It's like you need to get out of a situation and I'm going to make you miserable as hell until you decide to get out of it. And it got to that point for me. And then I was like, okay, I don't have any income yet from the side, but I've got my retirement fund. Literally, okay, how much am I going to get after tax and how long will that last us if we make no money? And we saw, okay, we'll last a year. Okay. Let's do it.
I mean, that was like a huge safety because, I mean, it felt like in a year, surely we'd make some money. But even if we don't make any money for the whole year, we'd still be okay.
Because even if you go the full year and you haven't made anything from the content, at least, okay, cool. After the year, you've got maybe 3 months and you can go, hey, we need to start looking for a job. Again.
We still had the skills, we still had the experience, so we could still just go back into it if should really. But I think if someone listening, they'd maybe consider that a risky decision. I'm not saying this is what you should do. But
you have to say this is not an endorsement.
I'm not a financial expert or advisor. But dude, it was really just like more like a thing of faith as well, because we felt like we were at a point where we could feel the energy, we could feel this is the right decision. And I can't really describe it, but it's like that instinct that you have, and you have a good feeling about it. And that's what I had. And I knew I need to follow my gut, and dude, it's worked out.
It's
I'm
so trust between the two of you.
For sure. Definitely.
To know that the other one was going to have. I'll have your back and you'll have mine.
And Simóne was still working in corporate when I was already hustling for about 6 or 7 months. And that was a big motivating factor, because knowing that she's driving to an office where she doesn't want to be, I can't sit today on YouTube and just procrastinate. I need to build something. I need to build a business that she can. I wanted her to join me. That was like the end goal. Never for me to work in this creative career, and she's working like long hours in a corporate job.
And that, I mean, at the end of that, COVID happened after you established that, after you decided, okay, hey, babe, we need to take this year. COVID happens and now you can't travel. So what happens then?
So that was actually before we were fully into travel content, COVID. So 2020, COVID hit. That's when we got married. We literally got married. We went to Thailand for honeymoon. And when we got back, it was 5 days and it was full lockdown. We thought this is amazing. Like now we're getting an extended honeymoon. Hell's yeah. Like we're at home together. We can chill. Like we can, and then we moved to, we were in COVID for 6 months. And the end goal was always for us to move to Cape Town because we both lived in Johannesburg at that time. And then we saw, hey, well, COVID, this remote working is becoming a thing. Let's use this as a motivator. We both motivated to our jobs, and we got given the, the green flag, moved here. And then in 2022 is when we shifted to travel content. But the moving to Cape Town was a big part in us growing growing our brand. Buying a camera for the first time. We didn't know how to use it. It was that Woolworths campaign. I said to Vernon, we can't do a campaign for Woolworths and take it on our phone. Like, oh my God, like this is so gross. Like we need to go buy a camera. So then we go and spend, we got I think 6,000 Rand for that campaign, or 4,000 Rand. We go and buy 25,000 Rand
well
camera. But so 4,000 Rand, but buy 25,000 Rand camera. Like that makes total sense.
I remember that day in the camera shop, I felt like I just took a blow in the stomach, because I was never a big spender. Like spending 2,000 Rand on shoes was like, shit, I just spent a lot of money. Because that was my thinking back then. I was very like, I had the scarcity mindset of I need to save all your money, and that's why dude, I'm so happy where we are now because our mindset shifts completely.
Listen, buying a 25k camera for a 6,000 gig. Congratulations, you played yourself.
Yeah, absolutely.
But if it wasn't for that, we would never be where we are now. You know,
it's an investment, long term.
It is. You know, we spoke to someone who was in the content creation gig for way longer than we were, and he was telling us like, just buy that camera. Like, if it's 100,000 rand, just buy it. You'll make that money times 20. Like, it will come back to you. We're like, really? Okay. And completely agree with him now. Like, do it. It's such a great investment.
Yeah, I think, just on that topic, it's still a tool, and it's just a tool. It's not going to make the money for you, but it definitely helps having the right gear. And 100%. That's at least in our experience. From even a professionalism point of view, the way that people, because I think a lot of things has to do with perception. Yeah. When people perceive you as like you're this guy that rocks up with his gimbal and his drone and all, you've got everything. Already just the client perceives you as being maybe a bit more like legit than something. You know what I mean? It's just, but it's one of those things where the gear has paid itself back tenfold every time.
I mean, it's also, there is also the element of not only is the business serious, but you as an individual, you as a pairing, when somebody looks at you, they take themselves seriously. So these are serious people to deal with.
Yeah.
There's not, I can't then go, okay, cool, for this gig, I'm going to pay you 10K where my budget says I could pay you 20.
Yeah.
You know, you can then go back and say, but look at the quality of content that we've already
100%.
produced.
Yeah.
Have you ever had a piece of content or a piece of work that you've done, you don't have to say the brand's name, that you thought you could have done better in hindsight?
I think so. There's some of the briefs are it feels a bit limiting, and then we feel like if we just had complete creative freedom, we would have been able to execute something a bit better.
Yeah, that's true.
I think those are the only times we feel like a bit restricted. And we feel like maybe if we had complete creative freedom, but maybe it's just us being like thinking that we can do better.
You guys have the same mindset as I am, because we had Thando and I attended what was it called? It was called TikTok University. A few months ago, and there was a bunch of agencies, a whole lot of brands, and I was on stage being asked questions as what do you call it again? A panelist.
Oh yeah.
Right, and I'm straight up I'm a content creator, and very often I don't understand the business side. I don't care. I just want to make cool stuff.
Have fun.
You know, like this doesn't look like I don't care. I just is the shot dope? Yeah, exactly. What is a KPI? I don't get it. But in the questioning, like some of the brands and agencies would ask, like, what do you wish you could say to an agency or brand as a content creator? And I said, well, just because you're paying me doesn't mean you own my creativity. You know. Yeah. You've approached me to say, but based on the work that I've already produced, you said this person is worth
100%.
Do that.
I say agencies need to spend more time identifying or scouting the talent that they require, and once they find that talent, based on what they see that talent can do, you need to then have the trust, because you have to give them the trust, because you've selected them based on their work and based on their previous whatever they've done. Yeah. So now if you choose them, you have to give them trust, being able to know that they're going to do their best.
Yes.
So the micromanagement, and when that comes in, it's, to me, do a better job of scouting the right people. And then when you find the right people, the relationship will be effortless, and the work will, it'll just be, everyone will be happy.
But I think it's more with influencer campaigns in that sense. I mean, from a photography, videography standpoint, that's where we struggle with influencer briefs. It's because, okay, yes, we do influencer work completely, but we also do the complete other side of that. So that's when we struggle, because usually on the other side, the clients trust us and they say, this is our overall images and things that we want, but you know, you go and do it. We see your work, you know, we know you can do it. So that trust is already there. But with influencer briefs, sometimes there's been a few times where we just say, no, we're not going to partake, because when we started out doing food content, we would literally pose with a packet of frozen McCain veggies. Like, that's how far we took it, because we didn't know any better. No one told us what to do, and we just kind of winged it. But now we've gotten to a point where we know what we want to do and how we want to produce it, how we want people to view it, and have that creative freedom. So we have more trust in ourselves, we're more confident, So it's easier to say no.
Also, maybe more confidence in the industry, knowing that we don't have to completely sell ourselves out just to make money. We can still be authentic and still do our thing, but still earn a living, which is amazing. I don't want to be just basically put an act on just on the camera. I want to still be
yourself. 100%.
Absolutely.
You mentioned, okay, cool, you do influencer work where there's certain standards and people don't expect you to be the way that you are.
Yeah.
For being quote unquote influencers, right? Is that what you would call yourself?
No.
No?
Simóne says no. I think ultimately a lot of the stuff we do influence people. So for the true meaning of the word, I guess we are influencers.
Yeah.
I think the reason we don't like it is the negative connotation to the word, which I also have sort of outgrown. I feel like everyone has their own thing going. So some people can rock it, seriously, like be really good as influencers. I just don't feel like I'm a better filmmaker than I am influencer.
100%, yeah. I'd rather be known as a filmmaker, someone who makes art, than an influencer. If I had to choose between the two. But obviously we're kind of like a warped version of the two.
And dude, we found this out, but like just through experience, seeing what jobs we like more and what we sort of over time. Because the first few years we were like, okay, we are going to be hardcore influencers.
Yes.
And now we realize that we don't have to necessarily just do that. That's why we've created another income stream for ourselves.
Yeah.
We're just behind the camera. You don't even see us, which is nice as well, because then I can just be chilled. I don't have to worry
that income stream is Versi.
Yeah.
Right? I'm assuming that's for Vernon and Simóne.
Yes,
right?
yes.
And that's you taking a step behind the scenes, creating something for somebody else.
Absolutely. Didn't you remember when I said earlier when I resigned my job? A big thing for me was I need to have some. So we created the website. I just wanted to have more than just. I just wanted to create a business out of it and take it seriously. So that's when we established Versi Creator. So we started running with the socials, created a website, and building our portfolio. And it's surprising actually without any Google ads how many people find us. So it just tells me that the demand is there.
You haven't physically like run campaigns to say, hey, go and check out our new venture. Or is it just people that find it via your page?
Yeah, so we've done some Facebook, Instagram ads on like Versi Creative's, Versi Creative's page itself. But other than that, it's just been through us saying, sometimes we're on a job, we'll take some behind the scenes stories, or we'll do like a photo dump of the last month. And then, hey, we were here shooting for Vida E-Cafe with the cameras in our hands and things like that. And then that way people would find us.
And long term, is that the direction that you'd like to go? You've established yourself now as individuals and as a couple working and doing these campaigns for other people. Now you're creating something for yourself that you have ownership of. Yeah. Is that the long term? That is where you're heading?
I don't think it's the long term necessarily. Actually, we want to spend more time in building Simóne Vernon brand, so which is more focused on the tribal niche. Where Versi Creative is more. We produce content for mainly tourism, hotels, that sort of thing.
Yeah.
But also when those people need models, a lot of times we are the lifestyle element in the shot. So that's I think also what makes us quite unique.
Yeah, like
we are sometimes in front of the camera as well. Yeah. So it helps. You don't need models because we're comfortable doing it because we have the influencer background.
And what's nice is like we were in Turkey recently shooting for a big hotel chain, and we actually saw their pitch docs, and they sent it to us for the guidelines and things like that. And basically in it says, okay, the ideal candidate that you want to come visit the hotel would be a content creator, not an influencer. It would be great if they also do influencer work, but then they also focus on producing high quality content. And that's what's nice because we do both.
Cross-pollination,
So with this hotel chain, for instance, we shot 6 hotels. We had to produce a ton of work, but we're in it. We can, they give us complete freedom. Say, okay, we want destination content. We want the hotel in it as well. Here are the places you can go. And we can go and we can shoot it however we want to shoot it, edit it, because that's why they hired us. But at the same time, they can also give us extra deliverables saying, okay, for each hotel, we want you to post a reel or a carousel or whatever. So then you kind of get a mixed bag of money, which is amazing.
Yeah. What's impressive to me is on our Instagram, if I go through the feed, the production value and the caliber of content that I see is unreal. Like it's things that a few years ago would be on Netflix.
Yeah.
It's insane what people are creating. And I think also it's insane what those people are making, because we've spoken to European content creators and hearing what they earn for campaigns was mind-boggling. To say the least, dude. It's unreal. And I think South Africa will probably not be there, but we are definitely progressing a lot, which is amazing. That's why we like really tell people that, dude, you could also do what we do.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's insane. Like it's huge. I wish I knew about this earlier, like got in earlier, but
maybe it was just the right, time. Everything converged for you at the right time, the right mindset, the right person next to you. You know, like from my content journey, I had no interest in making any kind of video. My focus was my job and music. COVID hit, and my wife said, "Hey babe, have you heard of this thing called TikTok?" And for the first 7 months of the COVID period, I was like, I have no interest. I don't care. And then one day I just, okay, cool, boys, I'm gonna go use your room for something.
Yeah.
Right? And it's the nicest source of light in the house, all of that stuff. And then like it doesn't, we spoke about how you get into radio earlier, like content is the same kind of thing. Absolutely. You don't necessarily have a plan to get in there. I know now there are people like kids 16, 17 that see, people like you doing what you do and say, I aspire to get there. But in the end, it's something you fall into.
Yeah, 100%. So true. And that's why it's difficult sometimes to give people advice, because I feel like the way things have played out for us is so unique and almost like a once off. I'm sure there's people that would resonate with our story, but it's so difficult because our journey is just, it really, like you said, everything, the timing was just, everything happened perfectly as the universe intended. Right? That's what we really believe in as well, is that everything just happened so perfectly.
And if it wasn't for our corporate background that we didn't actually enjoy, we wouldn't have had a lot of the skills to start up a business. So, if I look at people coming straight out of high school want to do this, they don't know how to draft a professional email or speak to people, and resonate properly with them. So there's a lot of things that we had those gaps, and that people immediately took us more seriously because we've seen communication on the back end, because we have a few other clients where we do social media management and things like that, and then we deal with influencers. And it's shocking. Like, it is shocking how the communication, is in this industry. So I think that was a really nice, gap that we could bridge with that experience.
Yeah. On that topic, if I just may, I think a lot of people take advantage of influencers because of the perception again. I think we all just...
That this is not serious work.
Exactly.
This is playtime.
I think, people just need to be taken more seriously, but it's, again, perception. So you need to be professional and have that sort of image for people to respect you.
Yeah. Now at this point in time, like when you walked in, I told you everything that is in here, lighting wise, how the cameras are set up, all of that stuff. There's a certain element of DIY with being able to do content now. And I think that, not to put my personal opinion on it too much with our conversation, but I feel like there's an element of DIY with what you do.
For sure.
Upskilling yourself, the 25K camera.
Yeah.
Learning how to edit. Now you know which SD cards and memory cards to use, and how to store them, and how to light a room and all of that. And these are skills that, number one, you've now acquired, and you've got that, and now you can walk down a certain path.
Yes, for sure.
But you've also got the background of business where you can say, hey, I can see that you're taking advantage of me.
Yeah.
Dude, and that experience is worth gold. I can't trade it for anything. There's nothing in a book that will teach me what I've acquired through hours of actually practicing something and doing it, immersing myself in it. Nothing can beat that. Like, that's just true experience talking. And we're at a point now where we want to progress even further, and even the way that I look at movies now is different, because I can appreciate the cinematography and the way that the director sees it. So for us, that's what the level that we want to... I know we're talking just about Instagram and social media, but hopefully in the long run, create documentaries or work on things that are...
It should be like that. You should
have an impact on the world, right? I think that's like the end goal, is having like an positive impact on the world.
Because maybe everything that you've done up to this point is going to lead you to to that what's it, like a motion picture or a documentary. The funding for things like that is not. It's not a tough journey to go out there with what you've already established. You always want your things to be as high quality as possible. There's nothing wrong with saying I want it to look like a movie.
Absolutely. And there was a point where I thought there's a big difference between a movie, the people that create movies, and us. Even just the word filmmaker used to be a thing of are we at the point where we can say, for some reason I don't want to, it's again imposter syndrome, right? But we've created films and we are filmmakers. That's just the end of it. That's what we do.
I think it's just to strive to be better every single day. You know, I never want to get to a point where we're working on a project like I know everything and this is boring me, because then you need to move on from something. But I think what makes this work is that we're both so passionate. It's taken our lives over completely. Like this is our lives, and it's just like creating art and, you know, just becoming better every day. When we just started, it was kind of a thing. Neither of us knew how to use a camera and, you know, what is ISO and what is shutter speed. We didn't know. And, you know, how to edit, what programs to use. And so we both kind of wanted to do the same thing. We both have to be good at this. But now we've gotten to a really nice point where Vernon does most of the filmmaking. I help him direct it. We speak about it, you know, prior to starting. We'll, you know, say, okay, this is what we want to accomplish. These are the looks that we want to go for. And then I do all the editing again. So we really split it up nicely. Vernon's really good with clients. So he communicates with them, and then I will sit on the back seat and do the creative bits, you know. So
playing on each other's strengths, you know.
Absolutely, dude. I think that's what's nice, that we're a team. A lot of people I know are in this industry by themselves. And definitely that's like, it's something that we've never had to deal with. We've always we could bounce ideas off each other and get a second opinion on this email. Small things, dude, but that's really elevated us, the fact that we're a team.
I mean, we were just talking on the way here. Last year this time, we looked back for, you know, you have to do your mileage for tax and everything. We're like, how did we do all of this in a month? It's crazy. And we're like, we are crazy. So we really need to take some more breaks, because burnout is like a thing. It's really, especially in this industry, people don't realize.
Ironic, isn't it? That you do travel content and you don't rest.
No, of course.
Because for the majority of people would assume that travel is holiday.
Absolutely. And that's what you see online. It seems like it is.
You don't even get jet lag rest. Like, you land like it's go time. You're going to shoot that hotel.
I think we're just so like, when we get to a new destination, we want to get out there and film, even though we like, no, we're not resting really. I love getting out there and capturing what I see. And it's incredible. There's so much to see.
You need to take a break from actually being creative sometimes, because creativity can actually be physically taxing. You can feel tired, but something in your brain says, I would love to shoot this. You know?
That happens all the time. And then Simóne looks at me and like, overkill, you're going overboard again.
We were literally at this like ancient heritage site, you know, with these Greek, you know, buildings and stuff. We've been shooting. There's so many tourists everywhere, and I'm hurtful. Like, I'm done. People are pushing selfie sticks in front of our camera the whole time. I'm like, okay, we're walking. We're going out now. We're done. I'm walking. I realized I'm alone. He's shooting again. I'm like,
can't help himself.
I thought we were done.
I just have this feeling always when we get back home, I don't have enough shots, or there's something that I missed. And so I always overcompensate.
B-roll is important, man.
Dude, I'm just rolling. The whole trip, I'm just B-rolling.
I just also realized, like, while we were talking about veganism, that there's biltong over there.
It's fine. We're super chill.
Like, we're the best guests to have, because you have more biltong for yourself. We won't eat your
You know what? I appreciate it. I want to put that in my bag.
This is your chance to mingle with the continent's top content creators. Don't miss out. Get your tickets now for the DStv Content Creator Awards. Saturday, 12 October, Nelson Mandela Square. You follow them on socials. Now come see them in real life. Dress to impress. Walk the red carpet and rub shoulders with the stars. Hosted by the incomparable Anele Mdoda. Hurry! Limited tickets are now available at Quicket.